ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shit. Subscribe, little robot. Oh, give us a hug. Hey, what's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Transformers action figure review on the Transformers Generation Studio Series Transformers Age of Extinction Leader Class Grimlock. If you're trying to pre-order your Studio Series figures, you can do so right now.
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
Oh man, okay, this Grimlock right here, this is the Studio Series figure that I've been looking forward to the most. I did see it in person at New York Toy Fair this year, and man, this thing already looks awesome. I mean, just in package right there, that looks sick. Anyway, we get a nice image of Grimlock. You can see he's number 7 from Studio Series, and then you get a nice image of Grimlock again right there, and then on the back, you can see some product shots. There's a little read-up over here on the Studio Series. If you want to read it, go ahead, pause it now. And then you can see that there's also Starscream and Blackout. I do have the Blackout. And then on this side, you can see Grimlock again. And then we get a nice little cutout of the Autobot logo. I think that's kind of neat. That's definitely new. I like that. And then on the top, you get a nice little window sliver. And then not much at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's Grimlock out of the packaging. And I think this is a fairly stunning looking T-Rex mode. I really like looking at this thing a lot. I mean, just the paint apps that we're seeing over here. A lot of sculpted detail that we have not seen before in any other movie Grimlock figure. Now this guy does not come with any accessories, but he does come with some cardboard, which is kind of the gimmick with these Studio Series figures. So let's get a closer look at that cardboard, and then we'll get a closer look at Grimlock. Dang it, Grimlock, you're too big for your own good, man. You don't fit on your own diorama. So anyway, you can see he doesn't really fit on there too well. But this does look cool. We get that Dutch angle tilt right over here from Michael Bay. This is Hong Kong getting blown up. So you can see all the wreckage and everything right there. Nice cityscape and everything. This is number 7. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I think this is kind of a neat thing. And just for cardboard comparison, you can see the deluxe class figures diorama piece compared to this leader class figures diorama piece. This thing still just wants to fall over. But luckily, this one does stand up on its own just fine. Whoa, look at that head sculpt, man. I'm going to try not to gush throughout the whole review, but dude, I love how this came out. I mean, look at that teal dry brushing. That is so impressive. I am so pleased with all the sculpted details right over here. If you don't already know, the Studio Series stands out because they actually used the CAD files from Paramount Pictures from the films, and that helped them design these particular figures. That's how we get this kind of look instead of something that looks like a never-ending story right over here. You know what I mean? I mean, just a head comparison for the Grimlocks. I mean, jeez, man, there is no comparison. This is outstanding. Now, I think it's very smart that they went with rubbery bits right here on the pointy part, so you can see that, you know, you can't stab yourself with it. But yeah, that looks great, man. I don't like that you can see the screws, but it doesn't stick out that much to me. It's there, but it's not the worst. On the right side right here, it does look a whole lot better. Wow. Jeez, I like how they go with just like regular silver dry brushing, and then you get, you know, the teal colored dry brushing throughout as well. So that just makes me very happy. I'm very pleased with this head sculpt. I really like it. Now, I would have liked the teeth to be a little bit brighter in color. I mean, it would have been cool to see, you know, the silver dry brushing on the teeth. I may do that myself. I don't know. But I'm still very pleased with it, you know. Again, I think it's smart that they went with the soft material. What does bother me is the gappage. I mean, there is gappage all over the place on this. Gappage right over here. That's actually a reflection, but that is gappage. You know, so you could see some gappage, and that's bad. So, you know, there are downsides here and there, but oh my god, look at the upside, dude. The sculpt, the paint. Oh my goodness. I think this is brilliant. I really dig that. Could have used some more paint right over here. Like I said, it's not 100% perfect. No figure truly is. My favorite figure in my collection, I say, is the MP10 Optimus Prime, and that even has that minor flaw with the legs connecting in truck mode, you know, so... Wow. I'm blown away by it. I'm sorry. I said I tried not to gush, but in gushing you get little T-Rex hands right over there, little T-Rex hands. But man, this looks so cool. I really dig it a lot. Damn. There we go. Oh, it looks sick, right? Just like zooming out, it just looks awesome. But anyway, the articulation, you can close his jaw So he'll close just that much, and you could open it just that much. You do get this neck rotation right here, which is kind of neat. I do like that. It's mostly due to transformation, though. You get ball joints right here on the little T-Rex arms, so you can move them outward, and you could rotate them forward like he's running. That's pretty cool. And then his leg joints will move back and forward just this much, so you can get him moving all the way forward, but back that much right there. And then you can get double jointed knees out of this guy, even though you're not really supposed to. It's supposed to collapse inward more like that. So you can move the knees around quite a bit as you'd like. You also get a thigh joint right here. And, you know, due to transformation, you could split this apart, which can be a little annoying, but I don't know. Kind of helps with poses a little bit. For some reason, this side untabs a lot easier than this side, but they both untab right there. They really shouldn't, but oh well. Like I said, it's not perfect, but that doesn't bother me. You get rotation at the ankle, then you do get ankle pivot. It's a very subtle ankle pivot, but it's there, and you can move these ball joints right here at the ankles up and down. No real tail articulation, and I guess the biggest gripe for me with this Dino mode is this flappy piece right over here doesn't stay up. I've seen multiple reviews, and everybody else seems to have this tail piece just stay there in place. I find myself having to move this soft plastic together and smush it in this little gap right over here, and then it'll stay like that for me. So that's a bit annoying. Yeah, you can move this whole piece up and down a little bit, I guess, if you want, but that looks kind of weird. You could bend this right here as well. So yeah, this right here is the most annoying thing, though, for real. Damn it. I'm measuring out this Grimlock figure. You can see that he's standing just at about 8 inches tall. And then measuring him from nose to tail, you can see he's at about the 13-inch mark. And then for a Grimlock comparison, you can see we have the Studio Series version right over here, and then we have the Transformers 5 The Last Night version right there. And you can see that this guy is just very silly looking. And this is my favorite one out of, well, I do like the STCC exclusive version a lot, but this is one of the better movie versions right over here, and you could just, yeah, you can compare the two of them. There's no contest. This is just a great looking piece. I don't have my leader class Grimlock from Age of Extinction. I did sell that a while ago. I was just not pleased with that one, but while this one and that figure were both leader class figures, this one actually is a lot larger. And then here's Grimlock next to the Voyager class Optimus Prime from Transformers The Last Night, and I gotta see if this will work, because I think they scale together fairly well. Again, you know, Optimus Prime, you know, riding the Grimlock, you know. I could never imagine a G1 Grimlock ever letting Optimus Prime do that, but let's see here. There we go. So yeah, that actually looks pretty rad. I like that. That's not too shabby. I don't know, maybe he could be smaller, but still, that's like the best we've seen so far as, you know, trying to get that look going on. So that's kind of cool that we could do that. And then here's Grimlock next to another movie Dinobot. We have Slug from Age of Extinction. This is a deluxe class figure, and you can see how tiny he is compared to Grimlock. I would like to see a Studio Series version of the two other Dinobots that we see, or the three other Dinobots, right? Because we got Scorn, Strafe, and then we got Slug right over here. So yeah, having those other ones in Studio Series versions, ooh, that would be awesome. And just because I love this new Voyager class Scorn figure, I did have to show the two of them side by side. I do wish that they're more or less the same height, but yeah, hopefully one day we get a Studio Series version of Scorn amongst the other Dinobots. And then for the last comparison, we have our movie Grimlock next to a G1 inspired Voyager class Power of the Primes combiner Grimlock. I do have the last two Dinobots on their way, so I will do a review of that combiner. But yeah, this is very, very interesting seeing the two of them side by side like that, because they look nothing alike. Oh yeah, and here's Grimlock next to a 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. And one thing I really like about this Grimlock figure is that the transformation is not very complicated at all. So will you take us away, Bumblebee? Yeah, right. So the first thing that I'm going to do is remove this flap right here, because that's probably going to fall out on its own, and then you want to split it open right over there. And then what I'm going to do is just work on the legs first off. So you want to detach right over here, pull this out, and then rotate 180. Do the same thing on the other side. Move that down, and then rotate 180. And then you want to detach the legs, so it's going to untab and then reconnect and connect like that. And then do the same thing right over here, and then reconnect over here. And then you want to move this whole hip piece up and out of the way, and move that up and out of the way. And then what we can do is detach from these tabs that connect on the side right there. Detach and detach. And then we're just going to leave that flopping about because we're going to work on the top portion of the figure. And I'm going to start on this side right here. So we're going to move or detach the lower jaw from the top part of his head. Then move this back. And then move this down. Move these arms out of the way. And we're going to move the fist out of his throat. And then we're going to rotate 180. And then move the arms down and forward so that we can get this bottom jaw collapsed right here. And we have a hinge up here and a hinge up over here. Come on, where's that other hinge? Come on, where's that other hinge? And this is going to snap and detach right here. And then this is going to swing and then unconnect right there. And then we're going to get the little T-Rex hands and we're going to make a little triangle shape right over there with those. And then I like how we can move just along the side right there. We're going to pull this piece apart from the front. Come on, come apart. Yeah, it's actually... yeah, it's kind of hard to find. It's so seamless, but it's just right here. And then this is going to flip up, and then we're going to have the head come up right there. And then we're going to move these two jaw pieces, and we get this faux head right there, which is really cool that we get two Grimlock Dino heads. We're going to rotate 180 at the bicep, move this out of the way so that it doesn't pop off. This can pop off on you. And then we're going to flip this in and create his mace. And then we're going to rotate so that this piece right here will be on the back of the figure. So go ahead and rotate 90 degrees. And then we're going to make sure that these are out of the way. And make sure the arms are out of the way, and then we're going to connect in two places. So they're going to connect in the middle at the crotch and at the center of the figure, and smush everything together, and it tabs in very well. And tab in very well. There that goes. And then we can just move this flat piece down, move this flat piece down, and then pull up his head spike. And now we have Grimlock transformed into his robot mode. And this is the highlight of the figure for me. I love this robot mode. You can really see all the sculpt and paint details throughout on this guy while he's on this rotating base. I mean, the figure really does speak for itself. It's just incredibly impressive to me. I really like it a lot. I mean, especially just looking at the front of the figure. Oh, man! Before we get a closer look, I want to see how he stands on his little base right here, and that works out pretty well, even though he is taller than the diorama, or just about as tall as the diorama, so, you know, it works, I guess. If you want to have a bunch of them lined up side by side like that, that could be your thing, but I don't know. I probably am not going to use this. Oh, man, look at that head sculpt. That is great. Just to do a quick comparison to a Voyager class SDCC Grimlock, you can see right here how this older mold right there is a lot more inaccurate to the film than this one. This is much more accurate looking, and man, I really love how this came out. Now you do get the head spike right over here, and when this figure does show up, it's in its robot mode, and that is down, so just, you know, remember, just flip that up right there. But oh man, and it's good that this is made out of a nice soft material. But to get a closer look at the face itself, I mean, that really does capture that Bayformer look. I think that came out looking really, really good. I like my Bayformers, man. You know, this is not a new thing. Yeah, I've gotten crap for it for a very long time, but I like my Bayformers. I'm sorry, but this does look really good. I like my stupid Bayformer movies. I know they're stupid, but I like them. Screw you. If you want to hate, go ahead and hate. Hate somewhere else. Not on my YouTube channel. No, I don't really care anyway. I can understand why people don't like them. I just love Transformers, so if it transforms on screen, it makes me happy. I'm kind of simple like that when it comes to these things. But anyway, looking at the rest of the figure, I mean, look at all the details, man. I mean, well, we're not seeing the spectacular paint details right over here on these plastic bits, but you can see the teeth right over here, or the faux teeth, you know. That looks pretty good. As I zoom out, you can see some more of the details right here. All these little parts moving throughout, you know. That is awesome. While I've said I do like my Bayformers, I have complained about the Bayformers, you know. And this is the actual head, and then here's the fake head. So that's pretty neat. And I do like how the teeth came out better on this one. I don't know, it's just slightly different. It has a little bit of like a more metallic sheen on this side than it does on this side. So it's just the material. And they're both really soft, so I don't know why. Yeah, I guess they are very similar, just slightly different, just very, very slightly different. But anyway, looking at this section right here, you can see all that nice teal dry brushing throughout, even though it stops right there at the mace. I wish it didn't, but oh well. And then looking at the crotch cover right there, that looks pretty good. crotch cover. Yeah, that's not a real thing. I just made that up. But looking at the hand, I wish we had gotten articulated fingers because that looks really good. You get a lot of little parts right there, and I like how that lines up. And looking at the back, oh yeah, you got a lot of paint right there on the back of the figure as well. Very pleased with that. There's a big old butt flap, lacking paint on the soft rubbery bits. Lift that up, and wow, 5 kulos? Jeez, Grimlock, 5. But this one right here is obviously to port into a stand, so I think that is really cool. I got my Figma stand right here, and will it port? And it ports. Now this stand is way too small for this figure, but hey, I'm gonna try to find something to make that work. And then these are all for screws. Looking at the back of the legs, you can see all the little fake piston thingies right there. A lot of great dry brushing. I just love the dry brushing, man. It looks so good. I wish they got every little centimeter on this guy, but still, I'm very happy with it. And the sculpt looks so good too, man. Very pleased with it, and again, these are very soft right there at the knees. And this figure comes with some pretty good articulation. You could rotate the head side to side quite a bit. You can get him looking upward just the tiniest bit. It's actually due to this piece rocking back and forth, so it's not actually a nice neck hinge like I'd prefer, but you can get his head looking downward, so he will look down a lot more so, which makes sense because he's a very huge figure, and you get some head pivoting right there as well. You get these shoulder joints that can rotate forward and back, so that's very cool. They move 90 degrees. You can move the shoulder outward that much on that side. It's about the same on both sides. You get a bicep swivel on both sides. It's a little bit weird because you get this weird horizontal elbow joint right there. You know, it's not too bad. So it bends about 90 degrees on both sides right there, and then you get wrist rotation on this left side, and then nothing else going on, you know, except for, you know, transformation for the mace. You do get a nice waist swivel right over here, and then you can flip up the flaps, and you can get the legs moving outward. You can flip these up on the side also if you'd like, so if you want even more range of movement, you can have him do the splits, and you can get him kicking forward just that far and back that far. You get an upper thigh cut, single jointed knee. If you wanted to, you could detach right over here and bend that inward even more so, and I like how that even this inside piece right here is sculpted out very well, so you can mess with that, but it's going to get very gappy, so just leave it locked in. You can bend it at 90 degrees. Then again, you get the rotation at the ankle. You get some ankle pivot, and it does move down a little bit and up some. This thing looks freaking cool. Doesn't it look freaking cool? Anyway, measuring out this figure, you can see that Grimlock is standing just a little above 10 inches. And for your movie Grimlock comparison, we have the G1 colored SDCC exclusive movie Voyager class Grimlock next to our leader class Studio Series Grimlock. And yeah, again, there's no contest. I still really like this figure, but not as much as I like this one. Then here's Grimlock next to the Voyager class Scorn, and then we have our Voyager class The Last Night Optimus Prime. And I know that there's a KO version of the Scorn where it's upscaled, and I'm curious to know how that figure stands next to this leader class. If anybody has an image of that, please send it to me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And then for your Studio Series Transformers figure comparison, we have the Studio Series Deluxe class Bumblebee, and there's our leader class Grimlock. And then comparing this Grimlock to a G1 styled Grimlock, again, thank you all. So we have the Voyager class Grimlock right over here from Power of the Primes, and yeah, very little resemblance between these two. And then here's the leader class Grimlock figure next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Optimus Prime got to ride the Grimlock. I want to ride the Grimlock. I want to give a big thanks to you guys that watch my videos, especially those of you that watch my videos all the way from the beginning to the end. I really do appreciate it. It does help out this YouTube channel quite a bit, and I hope you liked the video. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think of the figure, let me know what you think of the review, subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell if you have not already. And you know I like this figure. I mean, I'm just so pleased with it. I did take some pictures of him on a NECA flight stand, so stay tuned for that at the very end of the video. But this thing is incredible. I've just been gushing throughout the whole video, and I was trying not to, but I am just very pleased with this piece. He is awesome. I just really like looking at it a lot on this rotating base, just seeing it spin right over here. It's freaking sick, so I'm giving it a sud rating of... And again, I want to know what you guys think, so go ahead and please leave a comment down below. If you'd like to see a photo gallery of images, it should be over at ShartimusPrime.net. And don't forget to follow me on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links to everything I talked about in the description below. I will catch you guys later. Peace! I'm gonna play with my toys today. Well, I don't care
yeah!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.